All right, you ready, radio audience and YouTube audience? It's not every day we get to attempt live sound effects. We can do this, Stephen. We can do it. And then I'll introduce you. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I almost hit the mic. Okay.
Close.
Can you make out what this is? Okay. I'm trying to catch the ball really fast. It's a basketball. Yeah. Thank you for slapping it.
Okay.
This guest of mine here knows a lot about not only passing the ball. All right, I'm ready. But also teaching people how to pass the ball. How long have you been coaching?
I've been coaching. It's been more than 25 years.
Yeah.
But honestly,
woo! We hit the computer. It's okay.
Because I really love it.
Yeah.
I honestly, the years, I don't know.
Yeah. More than 25 years with Sturgeon Heights Huskies. So
that's right.
Go. Stephen Tackie is my guest this morning, and we're passing the ball, and at the end there poorly, but before that pretty good, because Stephen's part of a panel tonight. They're going to be talking about why there's a lack of diversity in high school sport in Canada. It's part of this conversation, and tonight they're focusing on coaches like Stephen. So it's happening over at Sport Manitoba building on Pacific in the at the Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame Gallery. And beyond coaching the Huskies at Sturgeon Heights, Stephen's also coached at the provincial level and been awarded for his work. So what do you love about it? About, imparting knowledge to the kids through coaching, Stephen?
Because every year you get a new group of people that you get to interact with, share with. I think I just love helping to inspire, helping to have kids grow, help kids experience new things. So as much as there's the basketball part, really I learned a long time ago that it is the whole person that you get a chance to experience, because you're going to see them later on, or they will talk to a friend later on, and how do they feel when they were part of your basketball team and when they're around you? So I really enjoy that kind of stuff.
And it's interesting because I think these discussions, people often think, well, it's a sports discussion. And I always say to having been someone who's been lifelong involved in sports, I played volleyball, still do, and I'm about to turn 50. And I know what it's given my life.
Yeah.
Coaching is such an important thing as you're going through. I mean, you're learning how to deal with your emotions. You're learning how to deal with loss. You're learning how to deal with victory, interaction, all of it. What was your path to becoming a high school coach then?
Well, when I graduated, I didn't coach right away, but I still loved basketball. I played basketball at recreationally. And I remember I went back to go watch my old school play. And in those times, the junior varsity team would play and then the varsity team would play. And I remember watching it. And at that point, we had another different junior varsity coach. And it seemed like year after year after year, there was a different coach. And that's frequent in high school basketball. Mm-hmm. So when I was in school, I'm not trying to flex on this program, but I was the school president. Again, it was my school, and I had passion for my school. I wanted things to go well. So I still had that love for my school. Fast forward, I'm watching coaches just kind of revolve. And I remember saying, you know what? I'm going to coach. I don't want my school to have a revolving door of coaches. I want there to be a really, really good basketball team. And I asked the teacher supervisor, Ron Pasechnik, and he said yes. So I spoke to two friends. And
off you went.
And that's where we went.
So your path was to connect to community, school. You were already a player at basketball, but obviously the discussion tonight is looking at getting more coaches involved who represent. So what do we mean when we say there's a lack of diversity in high school coaching? Who is not represented?
It's funny you say that because I've been thinking that too. Because diversity could mean so many different things. It could mean, are there men, women? Mm-hmm. Are there they, them? Are there different physical abilities? Like, it could mean so many things. So I'm excited about this panel discussion because I'm curious to hear what some of the other panelists have to say.
And what's your sense as a coach? Are we lacking in all of those areas of diversity?
I do think so. I think culturally, sports and coaching has been a male thing. And maybe it's because gym class and, there's usually a male teacher or a female teacher, but it's generally been a male thing. And I'm not exactly sure why. I think that's more culturally and historically.
So we're lacking in gender diversity.
I think that's absolutely there for sure.
Yep. Yeah. We're also lacking when you look across the country in terms of racial diversity. I mean, there's fewer Black high school coaches across Canada.
Yes.
So how would you like to change that? Or what would you like to say about the value it's, about getting into coaching? Or I guess I should ask, how do you think we should solve it.
Many times I remember saying like, where's everybody at? Like all those people that I played basketball with on the playground and all that kind of stuff. Where are you? Like, how come they didn't get into coaching? Because I know they love the game. And I don't know those answers, but I do know that there are some things within the high school system that makes it difficult for people to get in. And one of the main things, it has to do with being a teacher. So the more teachers we have of a diverse group, in this case, we're talking racially, I think that is one of the things that would change things. But then I also think it's culturally. There are some cultures that, they're moving in a certain direction, and they're not moving in the direction of coaching.
What direction are they moving in? Can you articulate that?
Maybe professionally, they want to be this. They want to be a nurse. They want to be a doctor. They want to be a lawyer, something.
So you're seeing representation rates culturally go for people maybe go up in different areas, but not necessarily in teaching.
That's
coaching.
right, because that profession in that culture is not a profession that might be a common profession that they're looking for.
Got it.
And so because in high school, generally being a teacher is an important thing, it just makes it a lot easier. Now, fast forward, you look in the classroom, and if there isn't that kind of representation in the building, then it's going to reflect in the sports teams. Okay,
so this is not to insult teachers, but I think what you're saying is in some cultures, the teaching profession could be seen as something not to pursue. In maybe you're going to pursue, perhaps, I'm going to use stereotypes here, doctor, lawyer.
Yeah.
That's the sensibility you're talking about?
Yeah, I think that's a piece of it. I wouldn't say that's the whole thing, but I think that's an important piece.
What do you feel needs to happen to attract more high school coaches, especially those who aren't white? Just to be blunt here, I mean, do we have to have a pathway for people to enter coaching, even if they're not entering education? Like, is that something?
Well, I know that schools are starving for coaches. Schools are always starving for coaches. Like, anybody can come and say they want to be a coach. Schools need coaches. So and that's why I'm interested in hearing what my panelists have to say, because I don't necessarily know that it is, somebody says, hey, you know what, I'd like to coach this soccer team, this basketball team. And the school says, well, you're black or you're Filipino or you're whatever. So no, I don't know if that happens. And if that happens, that's just because that's a bad person. But in terms of a pathway, I think that it's important that we make it smooth and easy. And it's getting harder and harder to be a high school coach because of all of these other things that you need to do to be a coach.
Got it.
And some people just don't have that time in their lives.
So why is it important to have diversity represented in coaching?
I think it's important equally as it is important that elementary school kids have diversity, that we know that large percentage of elementary school teachers are female. Well, that means both the males and females don't get a chance to have to see somebody else. And so equally, I think it's important just because it reflects our society. It reflects and gives kids an opportunity just to see people. And because, like you said, coaching is so important for building character, you get a chance to see that it doesn't matter what type of person it is, they can make an impact on my life.
What's the reality if somebody's listening and they think, I might have the time and the skill set, both athletically and also maybe within yourself to guide the kids, to coach, and they want to get involved at a school? Like, can you actually approach schools?
Yes. If you have a sport that you're passionate about and you love it, the only reason why the sport wouldn't go in high school or middle school or elementary school is because there isn't somebody there that can champion it. So approaching a high school, it could be the school that your child or your nephew goes to, or the school that's just in the neighborhood. It could be the school you went to. If you're not from here, you love the sport, you can say, hey, I'm just wondering. You can also approach MHSAA, Manitoba High School Athletic Association, and they definitely, I know, for example, I love basketball. On the Basketball Manitoba site, they would say schools needing coaches. And there'd be a webpage of the schools that need coaches and the level. And then you just contact the school. Yeah.
Good discussion. I know this panel is going to be have a lot more tonight. The actual title of the event is Reimagining Canadian High School Sports Coaching Through a Social Justice Lens. So it's going to be super interesting. Thank you for coming in today.
Oh, thank you. I apologize for turning the ball over.
I was going to say. You got to represent before you go here. There, ready?
Yeah. Okay.
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 Did we win?
We always win. As long as we love the game, we always win. So I just wanted to say, honestly, thank you for having me in. But me just as a reflection of coaches that are in Manitoba.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. It's a good discussion, important one. Nice to see you.
Thank you very much.
So in studio with me, Stephen Tackie, a Winnipeg High School basketball coach, also has coached at the provincial levels as well and been awarded for his work in our community. He is a panelist in a discussion tonight. It's about the lack of diversity in high school sport, specifically looking at coaches tonight. So as I mentioned before, it's at the Sport Manitoba building. That's over on Pacific at the Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame Gallery. Big, beautiful building if you haven't been down there. If there's still space, you do have to register first. So just check out Sport Manitoba's website.